Welcome back to Daytime Tri-Cities Live at CareerQuest Culinary Challenge, the third year going strong here, and we are live at Bristol Motor Speedway, and I'm joined right now by Chef Anthony Lastra and Chef James Allen from the Blackthorn. Thank y'all for taking the time to do this, first of all, coming out and helping out with the tasting on the judging panel here. Talk to me about being part of the judging panel. How excited are you to see some of the dishes that are going to be brought before you today?
Well, I didn't have breakfast, so I'm really
so you're
excited.
good. Yeah, you're ready. You're fired up. How about for you, Chef Lastra?
No, I think it's exciting. You know, last year when we did the competition, some of the dishes that the kids brought to us were amazing. So kind of excited to see what they're going to bring this year. Hopefully they up it even one more.
And you participate in like 2 or 3 other CareerQuest events throughout the year. Why is this one so special for you?
Well, this gives us a chance to kind of get into what my field is, what our field is, not just for the children around here. They, you know, to give us some nice dishes, let them know what our field is actually has to offer them.
And Chef, talk to us a bit. You work over the Blackthorn Club there in Johnson City. You see what the culinary field's all about. You work in it every day. You want to pass along your knowledge to these kids as well, but they're also bringing some knowledge to you as well. Do you learn stuff when you're doing this?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it just kind of re-energizes you. It gets you new ideas.
Right.
You know, I think all 4 of us really enjoy the fact that we get to see new things. We get to help contribute to these kids' growth, even in a small, part. And yeah, just walk away with some fun ideas.
And you talk to both of you about this, but the future of the culinary field entirely. I mean, everybody thinks about being a chef, but there's so many other avenues that you can take in the culinary field, and this is helping get these students ready for their futures.
Yeah, I think so. And I was actually thinking about it on the way up here. You know, we only get them for a few minutes to be able to talk to them and say, hey, you messed up here, or you did really great here. You know, I think there needs to be more of an emphasis on the 4 of us, or even more industry leaders, sitting down, having a conversation with the kids that want to do this as a career.
Right.
Because some of the ones participating, they're just doing it as a class. They're not really looking to do this as the next step. And so, you know, I was actually going to talk to some other people afterwards and see if we can elevate this thing to really streamline how they can learn about the culinary career in East Tennessee.
And you know, we see competitions like this all the time on places like the Food Network, on television, across the board. Is this competition similar? I mean, did they feel the pressure? You know, we see like all the great chef programs on the air, kind of putting them under the same kind of pressure down there, aren't you?
Absolutely. You know, when I was in culinary school, we called it a market basket. So we would have to do culinary competition where we would have just items in a basket, they hand it to you, make a meal. You know, and it will bring out their competitiveness and their creativeness, but the competitive style, I truly see these young kids, and they want to win. They ain't here just to play around and make some food for us to eat.
Yeah.
They're here to win.
That clock, that's the thing. They've got to do everything correctly in the allotted time and do it safely as well, because we mentioned that earlier with Lottie. We're talking about sanitation and safety as well on all of this as well. And you know, we went through a pandemic, so that's like on the forefront for a lot of people's minds when they go out to eat.
It should be.
Yeah. And the trophy itself, I mean, there's some pride there's pride at stake, being able to take this back to their home schools.
Oh yeah.
And talk to me about when you're under competition like that. That's a kind of mirrors what you do during the day, and you as well.
Absolutely.
And you want to see them under that pressure cooker, don't you?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, in our everyday, that clock is ticking, right? As a ticket comes in, you've got a certain amount of time to get it done before they get grumpy.
You're right.
Or even to lead the prep to get up to dinner service. That time is always chipping away.
Right.
And so it's kind of a real world situation where you got to be ready to go when the time comes.
And this is a great time too. I'm sure they're thinking about past high school, looking to maybe culinary school, maybe something else in hospitality. This is a great time to kind of step up their game, so to speak, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, and even with our CareerQuest that I do with Lottie, and you know, it shows these children that there is other options than
Right.
just say a restaurant or
Right.
they see fast food. You know, in my field in healthcare, you know, it is very time related because you have patients that need their medicines at certain times, so you have to feed them. So it has to be very full and
right on time.
and right on time.
All right. Chef Anthony Lester, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
James Allen, thank
you.
you so much. Amy's live again. What's down in the kitchen? Let's check in and see what's going on down in the kitchens right now.
Well, definitely the heat is on here in the kitchen at Levy Restaurants. We've got students from Sullivan East working away over here, but now Tennessee High School is getting ready to begin their part of this culinary challenge. We're going to talk to some of the judges with the sanitation area, talking a little bit about cleanliness and sanitation coming up here right after the break. Stay with us.